This is ETF2L Season 27, Week 4. We have a nice match for you tonight. It's Unexpected versus nerdRage. Two underperformers going at it here so far, I'd say. I am joined by Degu on production, and on the casting mic with me tonight is Nuze. How are you doing, Nuze?
I'm good, Peter. I think I'm quite excited to see these underdogs. Well, not underdogs, sorry, underperformers, as you said, face off against each other. I think it's not been ideal for each of these teams so far this season, at least compared to how they probably rate themselves. And I think with the fourth week into the season, it's about time they start proving that they are as good as they should be. And I think there's quite a lot of interesting matchups. We don't have too much time to go into specifics because we should be starting relatively soon. But I'll just go over the nerdRage roster and then I'll pass it to you for Unexpected. So for nerdRage we have Ombrak on Medic. He's the caller and been leading the team for a few years now. Eliker on Demo, Glastry and Korvac on Pocket and Roamer respectively, and then Namtak and Neo on Scout.
Alright, and on the other team we have Unexpected, and on Medic we have Babs. Demo Man we have Adiski, the team leader. On Pocket we have Polygon, Roamer Samsky, Scout Kradu, and then on Scout also we have Sorix. So very much a team that's kind of dominated by Adiski and Sorix, and then we have Kradu and Samsky and Babs that are all first timers to Prem. Maybe Polygon too? I think Polygon.
Yeah, I believe he's also a debutant. Whereas all the other guys for nerdRage, I think Glastry is the only person who's new to Prem for nerdRage. But that being said, despite the newcomers, I think Unexpected have been doing pretty well so far this season. Considering that there's not much experience on the team, I think Adiski's doing well to lead it so far, and especially in preseason they were really strong, and I think they've kind of maybe dropped off a little bit. Maybe it's just that the teams they're playing now are of a bit higher level, but they both had pretty good results for their warm-up games, so I think they're both feeling quite confident just now, and it should be a close game.
And yeah, I think I should mention that the Unexpected, they have 12 points in the bracket, so that's pretty good. So that's top 4. So why am I calling them underachievers? Really? Yeah, and that's because they got a forfeit win against Low Panther.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So
that makes sense.
And then they got a win over Nunya. So those are like the easiest points you can get, basically. So I'm not really convinced by them yet, but you know, maybe maybe they'll continue to impress, so to speak. Whereas nerdRage, they're sitting on 3 points. They tied against, I believe, Antic.
I think we're on the first mid beater. I don't know if you're with us. But we do see an early pick going for either team. Sorix and Korvac both going down. Neo's actually on sniper to mid for nerdRage, but they're playing really passively on the low ground. There's not much they can do. Polygon and Samsky tried to follow up with some aggression on that low position, but they can't really do anything, and it looks like nerdRage are just going to be taking the point, and we're going to be setting up for the first hold of the game. It doesn't look like nerdRage are going to be getting in quite quickly.
Yeah, they're very content to just sit back here and play around the sniper. You know, they ran a sniper to mid. Might as well continue playing around him here. They're actually putting a ton of pressure on Big Door, and Glassy is very close to dying. Oh, he actually gets out. I like this rotating around here, just doing their best to buy space for the sniper.
Yeah, and he does actually get the first pick onto Sorix, just peeking that shutter door, and it gives them an opening now. Instead of going for some sort of bomb or suicide play, it looks like they're just going to try and get Neo a deeper sightline into Big Door. Glastry and Elk are looking to make some space for them right now, but Adiski's doing his best to shut them down. Glastry peeking, just trying to pressure Adiski back. Neo has the sightline, but gets shot back and nothing to show for it. Glastry actually going down. Good focus fire from Polygon and Adiski to shut down the aggressive players in nerdRage, and it looks like they're trying to do something in return. I think Adiski's just taking his time to heal up. It looks like he's AFK in the lobby, so I'm not quite sure what they were doing there.
Doing the AFK feint, I guess.
Yeah, but I think they're just going to reset again.
Yeah, we actually see Samsky hiding in the corner right here, but I actually kind of like the play from Glassy right there. He kind of overextended, so to speak, but you know, when it's that kind of standoff and it's just one player that you're in danger of losing a pocket is not really a big deal. He could even go like a banner of some sort if he wanted to. He didn't do that, but just kind of overextending in there. And if he gets a pick, then all of a sudden you have like a lot of players. You have like a 2-pick situation almost, because someone else is AFK in lobby. So I kind quite like the way he played that aggressively, even though he ended up dying. So, dying is not everything in this game.
Yeah, the only class you probably don't want to lose in a stalemate, well, it'd be really bad to lose this demo because it doesn't really make sense for switching to all classes. But Hadiski, speaking of demos, is trying to put a lot of pressure onto Big Door. Namtek taking some early damage, and Korvac going down. Gets the force though. It looks like Unexpected trying to come in with this. Credu and Sorex can't really get anything in choke, so they're just going to have to back up. And it looks like nerdRage are playing the rotation. They are about to get a kill onto Samsky. He's so weak, 2 HP, but he manages to live. No, he doesn't. And Unexpected have just rotated to the top, and nerdRage, it looks like they're going to be able to take the second point for free.
Yeah, not even expending the Uber, that's a really big deal. That means they can just keep pushing on to last here. They just leave Namtek to cap it, and there's no one else to stop him. So, this is probably a situation where you don't want the sniper, but, Neo, he has foolishly not died yet. So they're going to have to do an Uber exchange with a sniper, and he actually takes down Sorg. That's a heavy down. And here comes the Uber. Babs is on 90%, so if she can build it in time, this would be very good, but already they're putting a lot of time on the point, and yeah, everyone else is just kind of stuck in spawn. And that's going to be the first round off of a great play by Korvac getting their force off. That really started everything.
Yeah, it was a really good Uber. I was a bit concerned with the sniper in the middle of that push, but he did hit the entry pick shot, and that provided them a clear opening. Even though it was only 30% Uber advantage by the time they were going, it was enough. And then the push with the Uber was really good. Babs was just in spawn. But going into this next mid, Neo switched off to scout now. We see some early presence on the left hand side for nerdRage. Samsky's up drop down, and I don't think he's been spotted. They're just fighting across the point right now. Korvac with a bit of an early bomb, not doing anything. Samsky's looking to come in now. Eliker's really weak, but he's shooting Ombrak. Ombrak goes down to the bomb. And Korvac with the counter-aggression into the Unexpected choke, but it looks like the nerdRage players are just going to be crumbling against the scouts of Unexpected. Credu and Sorex playing with Babs now. They just need to be able to get in here with their buffs, and hopefully they can contest this cap. That's what they'd be wanting to do. Sticky trap on point, but it doesn't quite kill Sorex, brings him down to 20 HP, but they're going to be capping this out, and they should have a sizable Uber advantage going into second. If Eliker can get some sort of sticky trap up or something to slow them down. But actually, that being said, nerdRage are looking to recontest this. They're putting in some aggression from Big Door. I don't know if this is a good play to make with the amount of cap time that Unexpected have, and it looks like they are going to back off, finally.
Yeah, this all started with the Samsky drop down play. That was so crushing on mid, and then sending in players here with that much time on the point, as you said, definitely a questionable maneuver. But they were probably trying to force Babs to use her Uber, but she doesn't fall for it. So now she's going to be pushing in here with a full Uber advantage. And actually, there's a lot of spam coming from up top, but so far no Uber has been forced out here. And it's kind of the reverse situation of before, except that nerdRage will almost certainly get the Uber this time around.
Yeah. They were able to slow down that push into second, so that they were about 80% by the time they were capping, but Babs and the rest of the Unexpected crew didn't really want to commit an Uber to it, so they managed to hold their Uber, take second point for free, and now we're sitting on stalemate onto nerdRage's last. A point play going by Sorex as Samsky goes in for a bomb, hits the force onto Ombrak, and Sorex wins the 1v1 on point.
That's kind of what Sorex does every once in a while. He just wins duels that he shouldn't do, but yeah, kind of incredible that it was only one guy going down there to stop him. But you do not want to overreact, I suppose, but still, that looked kind of foolish because it's just one guy, one scout just running onto the point and capping it, and they just saw it coming really far away. But Korvac's going to go for the drop down play this time around, it seems.
Yeah, and he's right onto it. He gets the early bomb. He might go down for it, but that's a good entry pick for the start of the mid. nerdRage have got good presence on point, and Polygon's going to go down as well, so it's pretty bad for Unexpected at the start of this. Samsky looking for the silver lining to the cloud, but doesn't get enough damage onto Ombrak. And we have Sorex gone behind, and it's not really going to amount to anything, I don't think, because nerdRage are just going to be taking their second point, and while Korvac is fighting Sorex and the backlines, I think we're getting ready for a Uber push soon.
Yeah, Korvac's just getting ready to back spawn here, and he's looking for Sorex. There we go. So they're going to keep on fighting, but the more they can just ignore Sorex, the more they will do that. And this is obviously very annoying. So they're actually sending back Neo here too, and Neo, together with Korvac, will eventually be able to take him down. So good job there. Probably not going to be a big deal, but there is going to be a small window where maybe they can send in a roamer.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking position into river. We have nerdRage on the heavy and, well, just a heavy, no other off classes because I guess Sorex is dead. Korvac peeking from river, trying to call something for his team. Namtak's in under the point, gets good damage onto Samsky, but it's not enough. And now Korvac's looking to follow up on that damage. They're doing a lot to pressure under and play the point here, but it's not really amounting to anything, so they are just going to back out. And I think they might try and send a sack because that wasn't quite successful. For unexpected, they did the pretty standard play nowadays where you send a scout to the point and then bomb a soldier in after him. Maybe nerdRage are going to look to do something to replicate that or something to that effect.
Yeah, sometimes you see teams send in like 2 soldiers, or like a demo man and a soldier, or a scout and a soldier, like basically a double suicide. And Korvac is pretty good at doing these sacks. He's very dangerous. And I think, yeah, he's kind of setting up to do the big skip jump in Riverside, but he's going to do the normal one, but no, gets sticky trapped on. And eventually taken down by the sentry gun. So it was just a single soldier right here. I don't think we're going to see a counter sack. I don't see anyone who's actually in position to go for it. Samsky was kind of far back. So I think we're just going to settle in here, but Korvac might open the door for a scout, or he might go spy himself, or sniper, or something. And yeah, he's just going to hold the door open for Neo. So they're just going to play it slow here and try to get a pick.
Yeah, I think that's what they're relying on, but Samsky's actually running the Conjurer, I think, so... Well, it's one of the banners, I can never tell from the models, but I'm pretty sure it's the Conjurer. And he's been doing good damage so far in this stalemate, so I think it might be a bit of a spanner in the works to nerdRage's plan, but Neo is peeking main with his sightline on Sniper. He's going to have to rotate now because the Disky spotted him off and spammed him out, but he hit good shots on that last time he was running Sniper to mid, and he hit the entry pick for the successful round, so maybe Neo can get something good. Samsky's peeking him quite aggressively. The gun and dispenser go down for Credu, so he's going to have to rebuild that. It's a good opportunity for nerdRage to look for some sort of pick or put some pressure on someone to force someone into Neo's sightline.
Yeah, Synagogue goes down again. I think Neo, he might go for the hero snipe on the balcony here. Oh, actually, we hear the Conjurer being popped here. It's going to cause everyone to kind of back off here in terror, I think. But you know, he hasn't popped it yet, actually. He's just blown the horn. Oh, there we go. He finally pops it in Riverside. And here we go. Neo has actually got his sight on the medic and he gets him. Oh my god, it was all a ruse. They got him. Who cares about a banner when there's a medic going down to a sniper? Even Paul.
Yeah. Now they don't have any Uber charge or a banner to deal with this. nerdRage just running in with the Uber. Namtak taking it under the point. He's looking to get onto a Disky. Wins the 1v1 with Sora. Adisky manages to finish him off, but it's only him left alive. nerdRage got all the frags on point. Bab's the early respawner, but it's not going to be nearly enough to defend against Onbrack and Eliker on point.
It was just him against the world there. He actually got 3 players defending that point. Unfortunately, there were still 2 left. Great job there by Adisky, but just nowhere near enough. Yeah, just Neo has actually been really good on sniper so far this season. He got a really good sniper against Lego as well. So he seems to be very capable. I don't normally think about Neo as a good sniper, but he might be onto something here.
Yeah.
Take it away in this mid.
He's comfortable to take it onto this mid as well as the first one, so good damage onto a Disky, but Samsky's up again and drop down, and nerdRage are just playing on the floor with Neo again. They're really relying on him to get a pick here. Korvac with a big bomb gets a 3k onto Babs, Adisky and Credu. Namtak with the follow-up on the 4th frag polygon. It's just Sorex and Samsky alive, but they're way behind all of the nerdRage players. So they should be able to capture this midpoint, get some forward spawns in for Glastry, and then deal with them later. I think Samsky and Sorex are looking to recommit pretty soon. Samsky's moving up to the choke, and surely this isn't going to amount to anything, because nerdRage are just looking and they're expecting it. Samsky's coming in now, bombs onto Korvac, gets good damage. Sorex might be able to follow up, but it's not really amounting to anything. Samsky goes down and it's just Sorex behind.
Yeah, that was a weird play right there by Samsky. It kind of seems to amount to wasted fantasy points. Basically, all that was. They're just gonna take second for free here, while unexpected they're just building Uber right here in spawn.
And now with both teams on even Ubers, we are relying on Neo. The current playmaker gets an entry pick onto Polygon. Good headshot as the Uber comes in from Ombrak. They trade it. Elikor jumps out balcony and Ombrak's being chased into lobby here. Good damage from Adiski, but it's not quite enough. Namtak goes down and Adiski will be killed for his efforts. A 1v1 in river, but Samsky and Korbak both backing off from that one. And they're looking to recommit now with the soldiers in on left. They get Samsky down, but there is a back cap going off from the unexpected scout. It's not going to be quite enough, I think. There's so much cap time on the last point, and they do manage to get it.
Yeah, both medics just trading kills there. It's a pretty good idea to go for the back cap here, but just too much force coming in from the Frenchies. And just once again, Neo getting those opening picks is just so important right now for them. He's just continues to do so much work. And he will actually go scout to this mid, but yeah, Neo has really been impressing me on Sniper so far this match.
So he's just alternating the sniper and scout lives. I quite like it. Korbak and Namtak looking to put early pressure on Adiski. It allows them to get up to their own side without taking too much damage. But the soldiers from Unexpected coming in now. Polygon with the early jump, Samsky in behind. They'll both go down, but only Elikor dying for nerdRage. A lot of point presence for Unexpected, but nerdRage are just looking to shut that down right now. Sorex is peeking up from the elbow, and it actually turns out to be too much pressure for nerdRage to handle without Elikor, who's been one of their heavy pocket targets for the last few weeks. So I can understand the decision, and now we find ourselves back into a stalemate. But this time Samsky's one who's picked up the sniper rifle.
Yeah, he's been playing it quite a lot, and so far he's been one of the less impressive snipers so far. But you know, I said the same thing about Neo, and look at him now. So maybe we'll see a classic Neo versus Samsky sniper duel, and Samsky will actually win that right away, putting me to shame. And we actually see a lot of pressure coming into Choke as well, but no, it's just going to be a pause instead. So we get to theorize everything we want.
Well, I like that Glastry and Elikor are currently in the exact same spot of the map, just inside each other, you know? And oh, yeah, I was surprised that Samsky won the sniper duel there. Because, yeah, I've only seen him snipe in pugs. As we do have an unpause, thankfully.
That was a little baby pause. I can live with these. Adiski's going to put on a ton of pressure in big door here. But just once again, he's trying to find that medic. Ombrak's going to have to dodging these pipes, and he does so skillfully. But this is always very uncomfortable as a medic when you're standing in the corner and people are like spamming at you.
And they are just trying to bait people to peek the sightline for Samsky to get an entry pick. He's got onto a nice position above the lower entrance, hits a headshot onto Elikor, who keeps peeking the sightline. Adiski should be able to punish him, puts so much damage, and it's actually Korbak that goes down. Sorex in behind gets the follow-up frag on the damage from Neo, and now Ombrak and Namtak are in a disastrous position with two players down there. Gonna have to use this, and it doesn't look like Unexpected they're gonna get forced yet. Glastry's trying to do something with it, but Babs is nowhere to be seen, and that's a really good push from Unexpected. Really good playmaking from the flank classes as Samsky walks in from Choke, Glastry goes down, and Sorex trades with him. nerdRage are just going to be leaving out of River, and with a full Uber advantage for Unexpected. I wonder how Adiski's going to decide to push this.
Yeah, it's going to be, like, usually you just, like, if you're in a hurry, you kind of go through main, but you can also go through Shutter, you can go through Riverside. There's a lot of opportunities, and they're not actually in that big of a hurry. They can go any way that they actually want. But that was a really good, like, it was basically the demo man getting overextended there that caused all this to happen. Elikor just dying, getting spammed down. Looks like they're going to go through Shutter, and there's a Pyro here to greet them. He's just hiding in the corner, but he hasn't really blasted them away, so he's just going to go down straight away without really causing too much commotion. That was just a free pick, basically, and the sword about to go down as well. And this is looking so strong right now for Unexpected.
Wow, 2 players left alive for nerdRage as they capped that, but there was just too much cap time for them for Credu. Really good of Unexpected to deal with the Pyro quickly enough and then deal with the Sentry, so it was only the fragging classes left alive. Korbak had taken so much damage on balcony, and it was just quite easy for them to play the point there and just secure it. It was very close in the end, but they managed to do the right things at the right time, and I think that'll keep them in a good place going into this mid as nerdRage are 3-2 up. Early pressure from Korbak onto Adiski, but it's not really enough damage to go off. And now Korbak's really weak, looking for an arrow, but he's not gonna... He's about to... Yeah, he gets one. And he recommits onto Babs. Good damage, but it's not enough. So much pressure onto Unexpected from the nerdRage players. Adiski and Sorex on the low ground, very weak, and it's just Babs and Credu in Choke. This is not a good mid for Unexpected, but Sorex gets Elikor out of nowhere. And I think Atiski was peeking the choke there, thinking of recontesting, but does realise that they're one player down and it would be a bit too much of a risk. Now they're trying to hold at the choke while nerdRage are wrapping around Victor. They're gonna pincer them at the choke here. Neo creates an opening for Korvac, gets in for the force, and he will die for it, but now the Uber is on nerdRage's terms. Glassry jumping in here, Namtak with the follow-up, they get the frag onto Atiski. Neo chases the medic, gets Namtak to follow up on Credu as well. It's just Sorax and Samsky in lower, and this should be, if they can roll with this momentum beater, I think nerdRage should be having a round here, but there's a 1v1 on the point. Namtak and Sorax taking it, but Sorax does get cleaned up by Namtak's teammates. And they should be rolling this into last here, I think. Yeah, Polygon going down. It's just Atiski behind the point. Credu and Babs coming out now, but with 4 players shooting them, it might just be too much. That being said, the spoilers are coming in.
They're going to have to dance so hard, and they're actually doing it right now. These guys are just buying time on the point, and everyone else are just not dying right away, but now the demo man has gone down, and yeah, that's going to be it. So that was just a classic nerdRage mid leading into a really nice flank, and then Neo going behind and creating space for his team to get a pick, and then he went behind and had like a really monstrous flank. So he just managed to open up so much space right there for his team. Just an MVP so far for nerdRage for sure. And he just opened up and they pushed it perfectly. Even Sorix going behind them couldn't stop them. But we are on to our next mid. It's 4-2.
Ooh, Korvac's up drop down. They put a lot of pressure onto Atiski, who's really not very healthy, as well as Credu in their choke. They've got no position unexpected, and nerdRage, despite playing on the low ground for the start of this mid, and I don't think Neo's hit many shots, but they've done a lot of pressure early. And now the height advantage is coming into play for Unexpected. They put some good damage onto the nerdRage players, but Neo gets a headshot onto Atiski, and Babs goes down as well. So as long as they play with their heals and keep Ombrak alive, they should be able to do this. They get the frag onto Polygon. It's now up to Samsky and Credu to get some sort of consolation frag here. Samsky's gone behind because the kit wasn't at choke, and it looks like nerdRage should just be capping this mid.
Maintaining that Uber is so crucial right now. And also, it's worth noting that at any point when they're ahead like this, they can just decide to just hold for a certain amount of minutes, and it's going to be very difficult. Actually, Sam's going to get caught out here. Yeah, that was a bit questionable. Well, I don't know. I guess he was behind, but he just found the perfect spot between the spawners and the people on middle. That was kind of amazing. That's not going to be it, but it looks like they're going to push in through Victor again.
Yeah, Babs is on 80%, so they need to make this work quickly, otherwise they're going to have a counter Uber to face them. They put good damage into the river. Adiski's quite a bit far forward from his team, takes a lot of damage, and all of Unexpected really need to heal up right now. But a good force from Sorax onto Ombrak and the counter pop coming in from Babs. One frag being traded apiece, but Neo went down in the backlines as well. Good pressure from Samsky on the choke, excellent bomb there. Good follow-up from the team as well on the players on second, and Samsky found a great little opening there to get onto the bunched up nerdRage players at choke.
Even taking down Elikor very late, that means that they can potentially just cap mid and then push into second because there's going to be no sticky traps. Even prevent Neo from playing sniper and spawn. You can just see everyone just back spawning right now. They're going to have to go all the way back to last. So a really strong push right here. Winning a team fight, that always feels really good when you do that. And then you just ride that momentum, and like they almost look like they want to go into last already, but you know they're on 50% advantage, so they're probably just going to wait.
Yeah, I'd expect them to just wait for the Uber. They're going to be up against the same thing that nerdRage had last time on the disadvantage, a Pyro and an Engie. In similar positions, not quite exactly the same, but it looks like Unexpected are gearing up to push through Riverside this time. And it looks like the soldiers will be leading. We see Samsky getting the pop. They're getting juggled by the Pyro, not killing him really quickly enough, but they get in now. Adiski gets dropped while he's trying to kill the sentry, and it's not going to go well for Unexpected. Korvac just putting so much pressure into River. All of the Unexpected players that manage to stay alive are going to have to back out, and Polygon might get caught. He's on 17 HP, does get an arrow, and it should be Credu, Polygon, and Babs leaving the second point while Ombrak is about to get his Uber. It looks like nerdRage will be recapping the second.
Yeah, that Pyre completely crushed that Uber. Like, you know, it didn't blast them too far away, but it blasted them enough that they just had no ammo, and then whenever the medic decided to try and save the soldiers, the demo man went down. So that's going to be an easy second cap, and Ombrak is going to use his Uber right now. They're going to jump in very aggressively, but Babs is way out of there, and I don't think she's going to die either. Nope. They hit Credo quite a bit, but he will be just fine. So now it's actually kind of a seesaw situation. And yeah, there's going to be a counter Uber. I think they tried to go in before the Uber could, before the point could get capped, but they didn't quite get there in time. They do get the demo man though, so that's a good pick. And now it's basically in this situation where you can trade points for Ubers.
Sorry to say, my game has just crashed, Peter. You will have to solo cast for a bit while I get it up and running.
Alright, that's fine. So they're actually putting a ton of pressure into Big Door. Sam's on 3 HP. He's finally going to go down. He was playing Sniper, so that's not going to work. But Glash is actually doing so much damage, just coming in from up top here. Finally gets a nice little air shot there by Polygon. So Polygon will now be the only one alive. He's on 26 HP and he's being pedaled down by a scout. So if he survives this, I'll be very surprised. And that's going to be a huge turnaround here as nerdRage takes this this fight, and they're going to go in here to mid and get ready to cap it. And I don't believe anyone from Unexpected will be able to contest this. There is a soldier underneath the point one. Yeah, he's actually going to jump in there and try to get things done. Samsky actually gets an M-tag, but again, a weird suicide coming out from Samsky. I don't know what he was trying to actually achieve there, because there's no way he kills 3 players on the point.
As I am on sending client info, I should be back on the server soon. Right, okay, I'm back in now. I can contribute to the cast. Yeah, so we do see nerdRage capping off that mid. It's only a 10% advantage, so not really much. As a response to that, Samsky has gone to take Sniper from the resupply, and they are going to be gearing up to just play this stalemate. Eliker's got a nice trap above Big Door, and he might actually catch out Samsky if he doesn't realize that the trap's there, but Eliker wasn't watching it, and Samsky didn't realize it was there, so that trap amounts to nothing. I think he's going to gear up to go towards Choke right now. Namtak actually sniping for nerdRage as well, instead of Neo as we'd expect. Almost gets a sight. Yeah, wow, hits the shot onto Glastree, but he goes very weak. Doesn't quite die though, because it was only a body shot.
See Namtek, he's playing it very passively. Like he's not trying to go forward to get a pick. Like,
Samsky's going for the hero shot. He went under drop down. It gets in, but he gets spotted by Neo and gets killed instantly. Not quite the Stark play that we were familiar with from I-58.
No, like, you know, if you don't try, you're not going to get it, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But, you know, they do have to make something work here pretty soon. There's about 6 minutes left and they're down by 2 points. It's very doable, but at the same time, if nerdRage, they decide to just slow it down immensely here, they can be in a lot of trouble. And he's actually going to go Spy, I think, unless he's checking in spawn. But nerdRage, you know, you could just see that they went forward once again when they had this man advantage. And then as soon as Samsky spawns, they just go back and decide not to play it any further. So I think they're just in lockdown mode right now.
He has decided to take the Spy all the way out of the spawn. He's on mid right now, just underneath. I think Namtak decided to just turn around and shoot, so maybe he has an idea of Samsky's shenanigans. But I think Unexpected are just trying to get some pressure in from the choke to distract. Perhaps goes down to the hero shot from Namtak. Adiski doesn't know what to do with himself, and Samsky gets caught on the Spy. It's really not looking good for Unexpected. Gets a consolation trap with the frag onto Neo. But Polygon taking a headshot from Namtak as well. Namtak turning up big so far. Adiski, good damage onto Korvac, but he will almost get the frag. He does get the frag, and he's back on mid. So Ombrak and Namtak. Namtak with the headshots and Ombrak not having to use this Uber. They will be looking to come into the last point fairly soon, especially as Adiski's behind on mid. He does go down. And this should surely be around. This is a great opportunity for nerdRage to capitalize. Yeah,
this is definitely theirs to lose right now. As Samsky is actually taking down Namtak, so that's good. And there's this Pyro right now, just standing in, once again, bouncing them quite a bit before going down. And now there's just a heavy that they can shoot down. But I think they're just going to put a scout on the point. But look at this. People are actually coming in, and wow, Glassy and Neo, they just cap it out really quickly. So that's going to be it. And there's 4 minutes left. It's not completely impossible right now for Unexpected, but their backs are up against the wall for sure. If they're going to win this, they're going to need a very quick mid.
Well, we do see Neo back onto the scout, so it's a standard lineup. I think Adiski's opted for quickie bombs and Babs is on crit, so some interesting strategy coming out of the Unexpected players. Korvac with the aggression early on the mid. And Unexpected are going to take right side. Polygon going down. They're getting really stuffed at the choke. Excellent play from nerdRage to really deny them this. And almost everyone's going to go down for nerdRage. Perhaps with the 1v1 onto Neo. Survives and will have that crits for last. But Samsky, with 2 frags on mid, does really well to slow down their capping and their push.
This is actually
Unexpected guys might have enough time to use this crits before Ombrak gets the Uber because he's only on 80%.
Yeah, and either way, like the mana advantage should be pretty heavily coming out in favor of Unexpected in the mid if they just go straight there. But they've actually taken the long way around going up top. I think they were expecting a push for some reason. That kind of surprises me. They should know that nerdRage, they're just going to sit on a middle here. They just need to buy a minute. But oh my god, Neo taking down Adiski as he was being crit creeped. Oh, they actually get an M-tag. As he goes forward there, and just a straight crit rocket will get him. But oh, and even post a nice shot in chat. Just a splash rocket. But Sorgs, he goes forward, and as good as he is, he can't take down 4 players, as it turns out. And this is just about it. Everything's just collapsing. Baps goes down once again to Neo. Polygon just jumps in alone, and the second soldier comes in. Actually, does take down Ombrak. So consolation prize, I suppose, but it's about 64 HP on all of Unexpected right now.
And Korbak's in behind. He should be able to get a Disky, but he's not really concerned. I think nerdRage are quite content with the fact that they should be winning this map. I really like their decision on mid, actually, to not push, despite the fact that they were on Uber and the enemy team was on crits, and they just slowed down, knowing that Unexpected had to push with the 3 minutes left. A lot of frags going Unexpected ways now, but the best that they can hope for is for some good momentum going into the second map rather. So hopefully they can get around here if they're wanting to do that. Samsky peeking the choke a little, gets a nice little rocket onto Ombrak, but it's not going to be enough to get the frag. Credit going down in the back lines to Namtak, who will get cleaned up by Sorex. And Neil's
nice
running.
Shot by Korbak. Sorry, he hit an air shot. I gotta yell, right? And Korbak is once again doing so much work. He's a DM beast, and unfortunately for Unexpected, that's not going to be them carrying the momentum.
Yeah, Sorex a bit too far forward there, but the Uber coming out from Unexpected. Ombrak does go down on 55%, and really good aggression from the Unexpected players. Good focus fire as well. Oh, such a chance for an air shot, but Korbak will just crater in the end. No one could hit the miracle rocket. And we will see them capping it out with 50 seconds left. They might even be able to get that round that we were talking about. Nice air shot from Polygon onto Namtek. That's what we like to see.
All these air shots in garbage time.
Yeah, right?
This is where it really matters. There's about 40 seconds left, so you can definitely still cap last here and make it look at least a little bit more competitive than it was. So the soldier in secret, and a nice pipe from there, Adiski taking down Korbak, and this is actually looking pretty promising. Only 3 players alive right now. So Polygon will now go onto the point, put time on it, and he will get taken down immediately, but the rest of them just funnel onto there. And so Unexpected, they will be able to end it on a high there. They both get the air shot and the last cap. So it's a good play by them.
I like their attempt with the crits and quickie bombs to mid. I feel like Unexpected is a team that tries a few different strategies that a lot of other Prem teams don't really experiment with. I mean, with the exception of Lopander, who are just completely different to everyone. But yeah, Unexpected like to mix things up. I know they have some interesting strats for pushing Badlands last, which have been really successful, and I'd like to see more from them because I think Adiski's quite a creative strategist as far as the current leaders in Prem goes.
Yeah, he likes his set plays where they will do stuff and then they have an objective, like a secondary objective that's not immediately obvious to their opponent. So I definitely like the way Adiski thinks about the game, and like just overall I think it's pretty interesting. We will probably be looking at some logs. Yep, there we go. They've been posted by Degu. What will we do without you? It's, are they up on stream? They are indeed. So I think I've already mentioned that I thought Neo was an MVP, and he has pretty good stats too. 23 kills, that is the top kills on the server, and 13 deaths. So that's very impressive, especially considering he was a scout that I wasn't expecting much of going into the season.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty well. I think Namtak probably a bit more new to the scout role because they obviously had Neo and Blade last season on scout. So I think it's on Neo to kind of step up and play that role as well as he should be doing with the experience that he has over Namtak. Namtak, that being said, had a fairly good game. A lot of air shots from Korbak, 21 for 18 on Roamer, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think it's pretty standard logs from what you'd expect to see from a 5-3 game like this. The only thing that kind of stands out to me is that Well, actually, all the numbers are kind of low. I'm surprised to see 5 medic deaths from Umbrak and 8 from Babs when it's a 5-3 game. Usually, games with as many rounds as this will have a lot more medic deaths, but there was just a lot of leapfrogging play, a lot of points being traded.
Yeah, Umbrak is usually really good at staying alive overall, so I think that's has to do with his playstyle and just skill in general. So I think that's part of it, but that doesn't explain Babs' low deaths too. So definitely pretty conservative play out of both teams. I think they were very good at playing together as a team and always getting their medic out of there. I actually do recall quite a few situations where we saw medic run away with a few players alive. So
both medics getting really a few kills as well. Umbrak with 3 frags and Babs with 4. Babs clearly the better fragging medic.
Yeah, combined they almost get up to Elicor's amount of kills.
Yeah, perhaps not a great game for Elicor. I mean, he did put out a good bit of damage, but yeah, I mean, kills are kind of not really a good metric to judge demo by. If you have low deaths and you're putting out good damage, it's usually a good demo performance.
Yeah, he has a ton of assists.
Yeah, whereas we see both Soldiers and Sorax for Unexpected with the most deaths. 20, 19, and 19. Which is quite a lot more than everyone else on the server, considering Korvax on 18 and everyone else on nerdRage was a lot less. I think that's part of it, that they play a lot like a unit and they go forward and back out at the same kind of times. It's nice to see that they've it looks like they've got their synergy back a little bit since the roster change, because the first 3 weeks of the season they've been looking somewhat shaky, at least compared to their previous lineup. But I think I was quite impressed with nerdRage so far in that Gully game. That being said, the next map product is an entirely different kettle of fish, so it should be interesting to see. Maybe the strategy for Midisky will come in strong. I know a lot of European teams have been struggling a bit with Viaduct, and I don't think many teams have been able to contest 7 really. Whereas they can get rounds on the other maps and it's a good bit closer. I'd be interested to see which team turns up big, and I think Sorax is probably going to be a big fragger on this map. He's really talented when it comes to deathmatching on Scout. I think he's probably the standout Scout on the server, so being the Scout map that it is, I'd expect to see big things from him. Is there anyone else you'd be watching out for on this Viaduct game?
Actually, I'm kind of curious. I think Samsky's going to be one to watch out for. I think his performance is going to be kind of important because I think he's going to play a lot of sniper. And kind of the problem on nerdRage is that they have 2 pretty good snipers in their scouts, but it's their scouts that are snipers. And normally you want to have 2 scouts on Viaduct. So how do they solve that problem of having 2 scouts while still having a sniper that's actually worth having? Do they switch core back onto the scout? Do they switch core back on sniper? That's up to them and what kind of talent they have in the team and who's good at what. So, I think I recall Korvac playing Scout before, and we saw Ubers play quite a bit of Scout on Viaduct previously, so it's not unheard of for Pockets and Roamers to actually switch to Scout. So, that's going to be something interesting.
I think we first saw that in the TF2's history when Immunity would run Sheep on Sniper and then Yuki would switch from Pocket to Scout and they would do really well. A lot of teams have run that since, in TF2's history at least. So I'd be curious. I mean, Samsky usually plays Roamer, so they'll probably just keep stock lineup otherwise if they're running Samsky on Sniper, but I quite like seeing 2 Soldiers and 2 Scouts on Viaduct. Maybe I'm just a fanboy of how that style plays on Viaduct, but I really like what Soldiers can do, especially when you have 2 of them. You can just abuse flanks and spam a lot.
Yeah, it definitely creates a whole different world of pressure on the enemy team when you have the cookie cutter vanilla setup. That's really what it does for you. And if you have a sniper, you can just have your roamer basically jump him all the time, or if you run a scout behind, then you can just jump in and take him down really easily. So that's something you have to keep in mind, and especially on what's it called?
Viaduct.
Yeah, especially on Viaduct, that can be a big deal. But we're actually going live, so never mind that whole thought process. It was just a short pause. Apparently, Sorix crashed, but we are going to this first mid here.
Yeah, we see standard roulettes from each of the teams playing behind the point. Storex looking to take a bit of space on the left side of the point. Samsky goes in deep with an early bomb. Polygon following up with a frag onto Ombrak, and Babs surfing out onto the kit. Unexpected players are just kiting this away, playing with their heals, and they should be able to come back onto the mid and clean up Elikur and the scouts for nerdRage. Sorex, Adiski, and Kredu leading the charge here. Gets a nice frag onto Neo. Namtak will make it out alive, and full Uber advantage for Babs. So I don't think they have enough time to set up with a forward hold, but it looks like they've got a decent hold on point now. Adiski with an interesting sticky trap on top right. I don't know if Namtak would have spotted it, but I think we might see some sort of push from nerdRage coming out now.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting that they're pushing off Uber into a big Uber. So Ombrak's going to have to be very careful. You know, if he gets too close to Babs, he's just going to die instantly. But Babs so far just staying pretty far back, and I think they're just trying to put pressure on right now. And you know, they're going to get a window right now as Sorx just dropped, and that's the pause that we saw pre-game. And Glassy's going to jump in very aggressively. He's onto the medic. Glassy gets air piped, I think, and gets taken down eventually by Kredu. So good job there overall. And eventually everyone from nerdRage will go down. And but they did get the Uber out of them.
Yeah, and Hombrak manages to stay alive and run away with Neo, so now they've got a full Uber advantage, and not only do they have the spawn advantage, but they should be able to take this position and use that Uber quite aggressively if they can make the jumps count. The unexpected players are playing pretty passively, they're just trying to get good spam off, it looks like, but Elikur and Neo, or Elikur and Namtak are charging across the right side of the point. They're not even needing to use the Uber yet, they get good cap time and it does get popped onto Elikur. He's jumping in, trying to put some damage onto Adiski. I think we have another pause?
Yeah, either that or they all have really bad movement all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like the Christmas the Christmas ceasefire during World War One, something like that. They just all decide to be friends for like a single day.
Yeah, just have a little smoke with the enemy team. That's, I believe, how that story goes.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, so what do we see? A little bit of point trading. I think Unexpected have been holding the point for quite a long time, considering it was just one mid fight that they won. I do like that nerdRage managed to get that force onto Babs and got Ombrak out alive, but it took them a long time to do it, and they gave up about a minute and a half of time. They're not trying to chase too hard here right now. It looks like Elikur is trying to set up a trap by himself, but they will be resetting back to holding behind the point. With a 30% Uber advantage for Babs, this should be enough to make something work with. Samsky's just spawning now, so he'll be late to the fight, but the fight does start without him. Korvac with an opportunity gets onto Adiski. Nice little hiding spot on the top right. And now they're just playing the cap point. The nerdRage guys are just letting them cap, and they're not really doing anything about it. Korvac coming in again, forces Babs, and Ombrak will have his Uber soon enough. Well, I believe he's on 60% just now, but they should be looking to retake this considering they have the spawn advantage. And not good health for the players on Unexpected. Polygon and Samsky were both really weak. I think everyone's getting healed up now.
Yeah, they have to be a little bit careful because they were 2 men down. So if they move too fast, that spawn advantage is just going to not matter, and it's just going to be a man disadvantage. But here we go, they are finally going to move forward. Ombrak has a full Uber, and he's actually just going to use it aggressively. He's going to use it to save a soldier and take in this demo very aggressively. And they do get quite a bit of kills here. They don't get the medic, but oh my god, look at Polygon taking so many people down. Well, 2, but 2 important people. I'd argue, including the medic. So now Bab's gonna be stuck with the Uber advantage, and I don't think she's too unhappy about that. As here comes another pause. I don't know what happened, but either way.
Korvac was hiding above the main entrance there, but he got spotted, so he had to jump away. And now he's in top right. I think he's waiting for an hour, and he should be looking to recommit soon enough. They're walking onto the point Unexpected. Kredu dies to a sticky trap from Elikur, and Namtak gets frag as well. Korvac going down. There's just good pressure on the left side from Unexpected. They get Elikur as well. So much being done, and we have another pause.
And this is a game of pauses. I mean, I'm happy that they're
all really short. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not complaining too much. Actually, if you want to see something cool, look at the Glassly's projectile up in the top right there on the rock. It looks super cool. Like a little
nice
ball.
Spot. I didn't even. It's like an orb of death.
Yeah.
And it's right next to Adiski's pipe.
Yeah, that might actually be an actual orb of death because I'm
I
pretty
feel like
sure.
I could get a really good screenshot if I just line this up.
Well, you never know how much time you have to actually do this. But yeah, that pipe definitely looks like it has the right trajectory to just take down Glassy, and he's on 82 HP. So if he gets hit by it, he will die.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Unexpected were able to just charge onto that point without really having to use any, like, they didn't use an Uber or only, like, take too much damage. It's just only Credu that died. Everyone else is fairly healthy. Polygon's just waiting for an hour behind, but nerdRage gave up that point without much to show for it. You'd hope for them to get at least a force like they did last time. Korvac did really well to get a bomb onto Pabs, but this time they've not really done anything because Korvac got caught off before he could recommit with his jump. And yeah, it looks like Unexpected are just taking the point. That being said, I don't think nerdRage are too unhappy because the times aren't that uneven. I mean, it does look like it's overtime now, but that's just because we have a pause. I'm not sure what the time actually was when the pause started, but I think it is fairly close. I think Peter has just left the channel accidentally.
Yeah, I don't know
Peter?
how that happened, but I'm back. I didn't rage quit, I swear. Yeah, it's a long pause. Oh,
It's the longest pause yet.
Yeah, longest pause yet. And the most annoying part is that we can't see like how much spawn time, like what the spawn timers are.
Yeah, do you know what the round timer was when the pause started? Because it looks like it's overtime right now, but I don't know what it actually was.
Yeah,
I imagine
I
it was
remember.
like 1 minute something.
I don't remember. I think it was pretty close. I do think. I don't think there was like 2 minutes. Like no, not 2 minutes, but like a 1.5 minute or something on white or blood on red. There's no white team in TF2. There's still big moment.
I'm looking at the chat just to see if I can get any explanation for the pauses. It looks like a few of the times it was Sorex, so I don't know if he's having maybe internet problems or PC problems, but that could probably be affecting Unexpected right now. I mean, they're what you'd expect to be their star player on Viaduct if he's having issues with technology and not able to fully perform, and maybe it's throwing them off. I don't know if they're quite a tilt-prone team, but I would be a bit concerned if that was happening a lot during a pretty close official.
Yeah, that's not optimal, and some teams will really just get thrown off by this factor of everything. Oh my god, why is my TF2 dying? Okay. Good thing everything is paused.
Everything is just going to chaos. I don't think... I mean, I know Obrax, in the past, in some occasions with big matches, he's been prone to a little bit of... I wouldn't say tilting, but like, he does get affected a little bit.
It was.
And the pipe does hit from Midiski, so Unexpected will be taking that point for free, and it's only Ombrak and Neo left alive. I believe he's on 50% right now, Ombrak, whereas Babs is sitting with the full Uber. So they've set up a forward hold after those 3 picks. They've got Sorex and Adiski on the cliff, and the soldiers playing on left side, so nerdRage have decided to take a pyro, yeah.
Yeah, this is the classic way to do it. I kind of like when you do it on the other side with the demo. But it looks like it is actually going to work pretty well. Korvac manages to just clear the way, and he's just going to keep on playing pyro. He's just reflecting everything so far, but at some point I think he's going to have to go back and actually play a proper class. But either way, he bought his team a lot of time, and now they're pushing forward.
Yeah, Elikor and co are moving on to the point. Last week went in really early, got some damage off, but it's really not enough, and there's just so much spam being put out by the Unexpected players. Korvac going in as well, gets airshot by Adiski. Babs will pop the Uber, but the counter pop comes in from Ombrak, and with the spawn advantage for nerdRage, they should be able to push forward with this. They actually get the cap before they chase Rags. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sorks is doing nothing. So right now they're actually playing one man down, Unexpected, and they're actually doing pretty well. But I think finally they're about to get overwhelmed. But no, they might actually just get this. Yeah, and they win. Sorks not needed. Sorks literally just stood there for a solid 20 seconds and did nothing, and they still won. So Credo and Adiski going huge here.
Samsky saying in the chat, okay, thank you. So next time he crashes, we'll pause and get funds in. So we might see Jai Chapman in the flesh as we go into this next mid. 1 round up for unexpected, and we have another pause.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Well, I guess this is where we look at the how do people roll out to mid, and it looks like they're completely in agreement. They both roll out underneath, like those big plates, right? And then they kind of scatter around on their own side. Normally, you also see roamers on the house side or in the tunnel, and you see Samsky there already. But where is Korvac? Is he far back? He's actually he's on cliffside.
He's not far back. He's Korvac. Sorry, I had to. We do see actually, I think it's Neo on the sniper. He goes down to the bomb from Korvac, and Hombrak going down as well to the scouts of unexpected. So they're just playing behind the point. They don't need to cap just yet because they're just going to win this team fight. Eliker tying so much to the focus fire as well as Glastry. They're all just getting picked out the air, and now unexpected will finally cap after almost wiping nerdRage on that mid. I think it was only Namtak that didn't die.
Just take it nice and easy. And perhaps once again with a big Uber advantage, they're not quite going to find the time to do the forward hold. And we actually have a spy coming out from Namtek. That's pretty interesting. And the medic is on cliffside right now. And that's not really like a good place to actually push from. But I think they're just setting up some sort of a suicide wave here as Neo is about to come in. I think Elko is thinking about jumping, but I don't know. They're playing really passively. And if you're not putting time on the point or jumping in on the medic, you're kind of just wasting your time. This is all time that they could have been spending trying to make BAP's force. They're not really doing it.
Yeah, I think they've got Namtak on spy behind them. They're just going to try and set up to bomb people in as Namtak's in position. I think he's probably going to go for a Disky here because he's not going to be able to get onto Babs. Walks up behind, does get the backstab as Samsky goes down as well on point. Really good play from nerdRage to get that. And we do see Sorex AFK again. This is not great. I think that's where the other pause was. Counter pop in from unexpected, and they're going to be taking this Uber forward. But nerdRage really aren't phased.
Yeah, Ombrak just looked at so hard, and now they're just crushing forward. Like he willingly dropped people, where he's just like, nope, not gonna pop it yet. Not gonna pop it yet. Just gonna lose all my soldiers, and then just finally pop scouts, and it works out really well. So great decision making right there from Ombrak. Just showing complete disdain for his soldiers by dropping them, but you know, he did it for good reason.
Well, who needs soldiers on Viaduct when you can run 2 scouts and a sniper, you know? But yeah. I think Samsky's gone back to switch to sniper? No, soldier. As nerdRage are playing quite defensively here. Neo taking a lot of early damage, and they're not really doing much to contest the point. The times on the clock are really even for both teams at around 2 minutes. A bomb in from Samsky gets really good damage. If anyone from Unexpected can follow up on this, it should be so good for them. Polygon following up with a kill onto Namtak, but with all the pressure on the point, Unexpected did really well to defend that so cleanly.
And Neo's going to get the Uber right now, just moving forward, and right away the Uber gets popped right here. And so this should just be a really big Uber fight, but Glazer gets taken down. More disdain shown for those soldiers, just taking them down so easily, but a big jump in from the demo man. It's going to cause everyone to do a lot of damage, but yeah, looks like it's just going to finally collapse here as Ombrak even goes down. So that was a complete disaster for nerdRage, and a really good sign there for Unexpected. That's I think they're doing a forward hold.
Yeah, and they have got funds in for Sorex. So that should be an interesting mark. I think Funds is a really talented scout. He's just coming in from the spawn now. But it should be fine because Unexpected are in a forward hold right now. No one's really pressuring a Disney on the right side. They are playing with the Pyro of Korvac on the left. They do break the forward hold, and now Disky will be coming back. Unexpected resetting to behind the point. But there's not much that Korvac can do now that he's broken through the choke. They need to be feeding him rockets for him to do it. Unexpected give up the point, and now they pop into nerdRage. They get 3 frags onto the 3 players of Eliker, Namtak, and Korvac, and they're just chasing so hard. Ombrak's alone in spawn, but no one will be chasing him on 60%. They're just happy to hold, which, to be honest, I quite respect that decision. It's not always a good idea to chase frags on Viaduct when you have the point. And
yeah.
If Ombrak manages to stay alive for a bit, that could be one player dying way too far forward.
Yeah, I will say if there's basically only one player that's actually worth chasing, and that is the medic. But, you know, moving across too far in will definitely be a detriment to your team. Looks like they're actually going to get mid for free here. They haven't used Uber at all, and they didn't really take any damage even. So a very easy recap, but the Uber is about to come in from Babs as well, so that should just be a big Uber fight coming up. But Fun's so weak, actually goes down as well. Bit of an overextension, nobody else was even there to help him. So already the kind of lack of team play and team coordination might be showing here.
Yeah, but the Uber finally coming into play for Babs. They should be looking to use it pretty soon. Adiski and Elikor trading a lot of damage across the point as they're just being tanked by the medics. Ombrak popping early onto Elikor, but Babs not having to pop for so long. Adiski's looking to put damage onto Glastrier, gets a good bit of it, and with only 15 seconds left for Unexpected, they're just going to cap the point and they're going to play to defend it. Elikor goes down, so that's a really important pick at this stage of the game. Demo's so important to defend Viaduct, and with Adiski having free reign and no demo to contest him, they should be able to cap this. They've got so much time, they finally cap it now, and it's on nerdRage to do something big here. Glastrier going in a bit too far forward alone. Namtak and Neo not quite getting enough damage. They're gonna get cleaned up here, I think. This is such a messy fight, but Adiski's in. Korvac with good damage gets onto all of them. Fun's coming in with the cleanup.
Yeah.
And that will be the second round.
That was extremely messy.
Yeah, towards the end, I couldn't even...
Yeah, like you couldn't even call it. I'm definitely not going to try to analyze it. But no, end of the story is that it's 2-0 right now for Unexpected, and despite dealing with the Swords with a lot of lag and having a Merc now, you know, they're doing really well and they're winning these team fights and just really consistent, and that's definitely a good sign for them.
Yeah, and going into this third mid, not too much has changed. Elikor taking a lot of early damage. Korvac with a big early bomb almost gets a rocket onto Babs, but since he's died so early, Glastrier also trying to follow up, dying as well. Everyone on Unexpected just doing really well to play defensively and kite the aggressive players from nerdRage. It looks like they will give up the point here, but with 2-player advantage and spawn advantage now that they've capped, they should be able to just run laps across the point and really put pressure on nerdRage right now. Polygon with some interesting jumps onto Elikor, but it does get piped down. It was a really clean pipe there from Elikor. And yeah, the point does trade hands into Unexpected's pocket.
It was a very interesting decision right here from Unexpected, just completely give up all position. And once again, the soldier actually jumps in, Korvac gets the force out this time around, and Elikor is going to go down very weak, so Yuba's going to be forced onto him. But Adiski, yeah, he's not getting out of there. Gets completely caught in the corner, and Elikor is trying to hit some extra pipes, but he's not quite able to find them. So, kind of resets here, but a very strong start, I think, for nerdRage.
Yeah, this was better than the previous rounds. I think they were kind of controlling that for most of it. They decided to give up the cap after they initially got it, and then they just recontested with an aggressive Uber, and it worked out for them. Pretty much even Ubers now. nerdRage playing really passively behind the point. Elikor can surely get something with these sticky traps. People keep peeking it, and Polygon jumps in really deep onto Ombrak, doesn't get enough damage. Adiski dies as well to that sticky trap, and Samski's looking to get something onto Elikor, but he's the only one left alive on the point.
Oh, Samski on the medic? Oh, close. Ombrak surfs out, though. Oh.
Yeah. And Creddy won't be able to do anything either.
Yeah, Samski once again with the kind of bit of a poor timing right here. It looks like we're going to have another forward hold. Let's see if we see another pyro play. That has been the standard. So far, none to be found. But there's only one sword as well.
First time nerdRage are trying to get the forward hold going, and they do have to pop really early. Only Adiski and Polygon having to go down in that suicide. Oh, good damage onto Samski. Neo with the follow-up, but everyone else from Unexpected are staying alive, and Babs retains her Uber advantage now. They should be getting the spawners in really quickly, and they're rotating to the right side because they know none of the nerdRage players were there after their Uber. And they should be able to get onto point pretty cleanly here, but they don't have the Uber quite yet. Adiski go down. Sticky trap from Elikor.
Shot and a sticky trap. I think that was actually just a sticky. I think it was just a charge shot. That's pretty funny. So Fun's in very aggressively, and he actually gets one because he gets Ubered. It's really interesting. And now he's going to try to get the demo down and then probably keep chasing onto the medic. But oh, he might just die to the ham. Oh my god, Fun's jokes. He's
Fun's
not
with
happy
the WTF in chat. How weak, he says. Put a lot of damage into Elikor, who was supposedly 11 HP but did not go down. And with that frag and the spawn advantage, nerdRage are looking to come in, but Samski puts a stop to that with 2 picks onto Neo and Ombrak, and Korvac onto Babs as well.
Yeah, just these big bombs coming out from Korvac. I guess he got angry or something, but he's just been gunning it for the medic, just jumping into it. But Kratos comes in from the sides, take down the scout, and that's going to deny the cap time, at least for a little bit. So that's pretty good. And actually, now that they capped it so fast, they're actually going to have a pretty bad spawns right now for nerdRage. So they might have been better off just waiting a little bit until they got those spawners, because now everyone else is going to come in here. The other side sort of gets completely shot into the skybox, and he actually gets Umbrak eventually. Samsky going high-fiving God himself and then taking down the medic. And oh my god, Polygon, I think double air shot Korvac as well, and at these key air pipes, of course, he jumps in. See you later, guys.
They just said goodbye to those players of nerdRage. It's just Glastry alive. Almost gets on to Babs, but she was 150 HP and pretty well positioned, if I do say so myself. So Unexpected now have an opportunity to go for another forward hold, but they decided not to because there were a few players left alive for nerdRage with the early spawners. I believe it's advantage for Babs. Umbrak is playing with quite a bit of a disadvantage right now, but they do have about a 40-second advantage on the round timer, so it should be enough to work something here.
They're moving forward, and like again, you have to be very careful here because the medic is so yeah. Here we go. Umbrak, if he gets too far forward, he's just gonna die. He does indeed die. Nice pipe by Adiski, just completely owns the medic, and that is the risk you run when you do these pushes off Uber against an Uber. But they're just gonna go in very aggressively right now. They're up one combat class, and they're gonna try to abuse it, and they're actually getting a lot of time on the point.
Yeah, but Unexpected know that there's no heals for those nerdRage players, so you should be happy to just run forward and kill them as they cap the point. Good spam out from Polygon, but about 30 seconds left on the timer for each of these teams. Slight advantage for Babs, but this is where it really comes down to team play. Credu and Funds get the opening frag onto Neo. Eliker going down to a bomb from Polygon, but Babs gets caught off behind from Namtak. This is not good for nerdRage, or sorry, not good for Unexpected as Babs dies, and Umbrak will be having his Uber coming into play really soon, and nerdRage only have 11 seconds on the point, so I think Unexpected were hoping for this to be match point and to just win 3-0 on the rounds, but I don't think nerdRage is going to let them do it. 70% on Umbrak now, as they should be coming in from the right side.
Yeah, you can kind of play it safe and wait until you have the Uber, or you can just push in a lot faster and just assume that the lack of heals will be a bigger factor than the Uber. And so far, they've taken a lot of damage, and finally they do lose one player. And there we go, Uber's in. Babs is just going to run away, but I think they're just trying to cap it, and they cap it out really quickly. So now it's 10 seconds on the clock, and Korvac goes in very aggressively, takes down two players, including the medic. Great jump in by Korvac once again. And Samsky, he's doing his best, but this is almost impossible, and that's going to be 2-1. So nerdRage, they're not going to give this up that easily. Really great fights, and especially Korvac going absolutely huge in this round.
The first two rounds, there was quite a bit of time left for nerdRage, and Unexpected were quite dominant, but this one was a lot closer, and nerdRage just do edge it in the end. We do see one sniper for each of the teams, Neo and Samsky, so this should be an interesting mid-fight to watch, as we do see a bit of aggression from Elikur and Namtak on the left side of the point. Everyone play quite carefully. Neo get the first frag onto Babs. This should be a good start to the mid for nerdRage, but surely Unexpected are just going to go aggressive here. I don't see why they would play it slowly without heals, and they're putting pressure on the point, but they're not really committing to anything, and it looks like nerdRage are just able to put on the spam. Polygon gets onto Neo, hits him up, but doesn't hit an air shot. Glacier will clean him up as Neo craters, and yeah, it's just as I said, nerdRage will be able to recontest this, and they should be able to use their Uber advantage here as Adiski goes down here. Peter? I'll just continue then, because I'm not sure where Peter went, but good follow-up from the nerdRage players, being a bit more aggressive to chase a couple more frags, and now with their full Uber, well, 50% Uber advantage, looks like Eliker setting up stickies on Cliff.
Yeah, sorry about that, my mumble froze. It's being very temperamental today, my mumble. But yeah, as I was trying to say, or actually did say while you know what, he could hear me, when you lose your medic very early, you either have to commit completely or you have to retreat, and they didn't. They just took a slow fight, but we actually have another one right now, and they're sort of jump behind, and they're just putting so much time onto the point, and I think nerdRage, they will just let them cap it here, and it's kind of surprised me because Umbrak had a slight Uber advantage, and he's going to drop a scout, and now he's going to get forced. So this is actually a pretty bad situation right now. Babs still holding on to it, not even popping. Wow. Can a girl have balls of steel?
Neo with a headshot almost gets, well, he gets cleaned up by Funds there, but I've not seen too much from the snipers so far. They did have a few nice picks there. As we do see Samsky posted up on lower left. He's got a sightline into Cliff. Might get something onto Ombrak if he can peek. Does get shot back, so he can't commit to that sightline. Glastry and Korvac are both dying really early. Elikor as well. I think this is a 4-man sack, and Neo and Ombrak are happy to just go back. But Ombrak's not been building the whole time, and I think Unexpected are going to use this to set up a forward hold.
Yeah, and funds with the casual 5k there. Just a complete cleanup duty, of course, but still, it's going to feel good, and someone has to do it. Soda's going to jump in very aggressively right now, so I think Unexpected they have just kind of ceded the forward hold and just gone back. And actually, Samsky getting a pick there onto Neo, and Kola going down to a pipe as well. So this is just slowing down nerdRage a whole lot. Like, they want to exchange as fast as possible when they have this Uber advantage. It's even Ubers, but you know, you want to get Ubers out of the way as fast as possible so you can actually fight and have a spawn advantage to work with. And the more picks that they get against them, the worse it's going to be. And it looks like Korvac might even get taken down as scout. No, he makes it out alive. Oh, tense situation.
We do see Samsky playing just from the house. I think he's rotating up to China just to mirror where Neo's been playing from. But a lot of captain being put out on nerdRage. They're just taking so much spam on the point. 2 of them will go down. And Ombrak's in no man's land on his own. Glastry drops down to meet him, but with a solo Uber on Glastry, he's used 3 rockets to jump. Neo with the headshot on Babs, the saving grace of the push for nerdRage. And Polygon's in, gets good damage onto Ombrak, and he does get the follow-up frag. It's so hectic, Peter. I'm not sure who to watch.
Yeah, Elikor even hitting some nice pipes and getting 2 kills. But right now, nerdRage, they're trying to move forward to actually get this cap point. Like, it's so important for them. But, you know, they do actually get the fastest spawns here if they don't cap it too fast. And they actually cap pretty much perfectly there. But Sam just gets another pick there on Korvac. So we might even see a counter push coming out here. This is so hectic and fast-paced. And at this point, nerdRage, I don't think they can afford to give up the point easily.
Yeah, with only 27 seconds left for Unexpected, it would be disastrous for nerdRage if they were to give this up. Hadiski going down to 10 HP, but does get an arrow to heal up. And they're just putting so much spam on the point as nerdRage really aren't doing too much to contest it. Hadiski getting good cap time now, and Funds and Credu are just taking heals and pressuring nerdRage players from any angle that they can. Glastry going down.
It's actually a Kritzkrieg is about to come in here. This demo man actually finds Samsky. That's not really who you want, but it's still going. And this could, oh, here comes the counter Uber. Oh, that's unfortunate. And nobody caught that Kritzkrieg. I just saw it at the very end before they popped it, but didn't quite get anything out of it, unfortunately. But actually, people overextend here, and now we're going to see a counter push coming out. Good timing, too, because there's about 3 seconds left.
They should be able to get the overtime at least, and as they were going to wait for Funds and Polygon to spawn before they set up their new push, I do want to address the fact that despite Funds coming in, 2 rounds late, he's already outscoring Polygon and Samsky on the scoreboard, and he was on an 8k in that last fight.
It's going to be a very close fight. Funds actually going down. That's a really nice entry frag right here. Getting the scout very early on is good. And Babs going down again to Glastry. Glastry this time taking a page out of Korvac's book and just bombing the medic here. It's only Creator alive. And he's going to be fighting a scout. I'm not sure Neo even should be taking this fight. Like, you don't need to kill this guy. Like, it's completely unnecessary. But they are chasing them, and if they get killed because they went too far forward, they're going to be hitting themselves. But no, they are eventually going to back off here. So, like, nerdRage, they're definitely doing it here. They have an Uber advantage as well. They don't have the Uber yet, but Fun's going down to the same sneaky trap, I think.
Yeah, Samsky sniping from lower right just now as Unexpected, trying to pressure the point. So much damage being put out from nerdRage. Samsky gets 1 shot onto Glastry. Babs is in no man's land, gonna die, and Samsky will be killed as well. That tries to survive against 2 scouts, but with 30 seconds on the point and Ombrak with full Uber, it's gonna need a really good play from the Unexpected team if they want to get back into this, because this could be a nerdRage round, quite likely.
Yeah, Samsky's going sniper. He's gonna be the hero here. Like, I think that's his plan, but you know, once there's about 10 to 8 seconds left, like, Ombrak's just going to Uber on the point. Yeah, he's Ubered now, and they already got 2 points, and now they just need to stand on it, make sure no time gets on it. And they're actually chasing quite a bit, so if anyone can sneak onto the point, that would be it, but no. It's going to be 2-2. There's going to be one final round to decide who gets these glorious ETF2L points, and I'm pretty excited. Unexpected, you know, they were looking so strong, but now they're kind of faltering, and kind of unfortunate. It's very close, these rounds.
And we do see Neo running the sniper to mid this time. Samsky sticking with Roamer. I think Funz has been doing a good job so far in a lot of these team fights. And Glastry's actually surprised me recently. Korvac and Glastry both going in, follow up onto Babs. Excellent damage onto all of the unexpected players. But in the backline, Samsky jumps in, gets a good shot onto Ombrak, and it's just going to be the demos fighting on point right now, and a 1v1 between Namtak and Polygon on the other side. It looks like it's going in the favor of the unexpected players just now, and with the earlier spawns, they should be able to take the point. But Eliker's got sticky traps set up, and it looks like Neo's sniping. I'm not sure where he's sniping from. He's still on China right now. Credu dying to a trap from Eliker. Neo hitting the air headshot onto Polygon. That was ridiculous.
Oh, and gets the demo man at the same time. Soda was pretty funny, but the demo man, that was a legit snipe. Then Samsky going in there again, coming in at the very end, the tail end of him. That's like the Samsky special, just jumping in when everything, the fight is basically over, and then he gets picked. And that's going to be a cap coming out here. It's been quite a while. It was a long mid fight, and yeah, we saw them actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, capped a little bit too early. I don't think Elikor realized that everyone else was walking off the point. But you can see them thinking here. Their brains are working.
But they've only just capped now, and Babs managed to stay alive throughout that, so she will have a 8% Uber advantage on this, and they should be able to use this aggressively. I'd like to see them pop round early, and that's exactly what they do. Adiski bombing in deep. Polygon with the follow-up. They get good damage, but it's not enough to get onto Ombrak. They've got good damage onto Glastry and Namtak, but neither of them are going to go down. Polygon actually gets picked by Eliker with a nice pipe, and I don't think that's exactly how the push wanted to, or how Unexpected wanted that push to go. Fun's dying to Neo on the snipe. Eliker bombs in really deep. Really aggressive for a demo on Viaduct, and soldiers are going to follow up. So much damage onto Samsky and Credu. They do get Babs for their effort, but they're not going to get much more for it. And the nerdRage players capping out the point there. Ombrak not having to use, well, he didn't have Uber in the last push, sorry, but he manages to get it now because he stayed alive. Babs on 20%, and Samsky running the sniper. He's walking in bottom right. Doesn't really have much of a sightline on anything. It looks like Ombrak's going to be playing safe. Neo will be on China to contest. Adiski goes down to a trap from Eliker, and it's just really good defensive play from nerdRage to get the pick onto the counter sniper, and they're going aggressive with it. They get a pick onto Funz and Babs as well. Really good from Korvac and Eliker, and they're just going to reset back to the point. Polygon with some aggression gets Eliker, but gets airshot, and I think nerdRage are quite happy to just be trading frags here, as they have just been holding their Uber and they've got the cap point. It looks like they're a minute ahead, and it's quite favoring them so far.
Yeah, like the Uber is the big deal here. Of course, you can't really trade frags forever because you have a spawn disadvantage. But Ombrak, I think he's going to get forced there. Yeah, there we go. But Adiski going down right away and then jumping in, doing so much damage. Oh my god. Elikor just pounding right now, doing so much damage, taking everyone down, including the medic. Then Neo even saving his demo man there with a nice body shot. So right now it just looks like nerdRage are just this freight train to just keep on rolling forward, and right now Unexpected, they can't find out how to stop them.
Yeah, they're just, they did really good to hold their Uber there and then go aggressive with it. Really punished Unexpected, and now with a minute and a half advantage on the clock and 20% Uber in their favor, I think they're happy to continue playing as they have been with this defensive play, and Neo's been hitting his shot. Really good damage onto the Unexpected scout. Samsky and Adiski going down. Glastry will get followed up, but it's not going well for Unexpected. Babs dies to spam from Eliker as well, and Funz and Credu might be able to live here, but it won't really mean anything if they do, because that push was disastrous, and now there's 30 seconds on the clock. Ombrak's about to get Uber, and it's in the same situation as last round where Unexpected need to do something really important, but they're 2 minutes of a worse position than they were last time.
Yeah, and Babs is very far forward, so if she's not careful, she's just going to get Ubered on. And there we go, the Uber, she got Ubered on, okay? Eliker just jumps in there and pipes her like it's no big deal. And again, Samsky in the skybox gets picked off, and just Neo is on a 9-kill streak. That just goes to show that he hasn't been dying, and Credu just going to jump out here just for a good measure, and that's going to be it. A reverse sweep of Viaduct has been completed by nerdRage. They were looking very bad going into it, but after they were down 2-1, or no, sorry, 2-0, they turned it all around and managed to come back and win it 3-2.
Wow,
that's incredible.
I'm just looking at the stats right now, and I don't think I've seen a match in Prem recently where one player has stood out in terms of the stats. If you look at Elikor's damage, he's 5k above the next highest player, which is a Disky. Elikor sitting on 14,000 damage as demo.
That is fat.
That's insane.
I feel like half of the damage is just him jumping in and just killing everything. He had so many of those towards the end.
Good frags from Neo and Namtak as well, putting out good damage. I think they were playing quite a follow-up role, whereas Glastry and Korvac were kind of secondary in terms of the resources that nerdRage were putting out. And that's generally the best way to play Viaduct, because it is so good for scouts in demo. Disky was doing well in terms of the damage, but I think he was playing a bit more of a tank role for his team, and I think maybe the factor of Sorex's issues probably played into this a lot. I'm not sure how much of the game he was playing, but he had 2 frags and 1 death, and then Funds came in to finish up most of the game. But yeah, I mean, I guess the Merc came into it because the first 2 rounds, it was quite dominant for Unexpected. I mean, nerdRage were getting a lot of time, but they didn't get to overtime on either of the first 2 rounds, and then after Sorex left, I think maybe on a team dynamic level, it probably threw a spanner in the works. I mean, I'd consider Funds to be similar in terms of skill level to Sorex, so I don't think it would be much of a downgrade, but I think maybe he just doesn't play in the same way that they're used to, because after that change, they kind of lost control of the game. To be fair, nerdRage really did step it up. They were a lot better defensively controlling the point, and they had a lot nicer Ubers.
Yeah, I want to also point out, we were talking about scouts just now, and Credo actually had a really good game. He went 28 for 8 on the losing team, so, I mean, you've got to take your hats off for that. That's a really good performance. I think he has the fewest deaths, on the entire server, other than Sorex who left. So Credo just beasting it here.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of times where they were backing out, and Credo could have died, but he kept his health and made it work. Yeah, but I'm kind of shocked that they had the comeback, because the first 2 rounds it was looking really dominant for Unexpected, and then it did kind of seem like Elikor just turned up and started in every fight. Like, it felt like he got at least 1 kill or was just doing something. And yeah, I mean, the stats show. Neo as well, actually. I shouldn't forget to mention him. Towards the end, he started to really show up on Sniper, and he was really important to a lot of their defensive play because he got so many important picks.
Yeah, he was very impressive overall on Sniper throughout both maps. So that definitely had a big impact for sure. And he also died very little on Sniper, which is something you can't underestimate either. He went 12 for 5 on Sniper. That's very good. And, you know, his impact was definitely felt. And then, of course, when you have Elikor just following up like a madman and just dealing out so much damage, it doesn't hurt you either.
Yeah.
So, once again, a very close map. It was really only the last round that was kind of a walk over for nerdRage.
Like, the first 2 rounds were like a little bit in favor of Unexpected, but like in the game they felt like they were sort of in control. The 2 rounds following that, they were really close, but nerdRage edged out on both of them, and then the final round, nerdRage were kind of just dominant. I think we do have some of the players in from either team. Degu telling me we've got Babs, Samsky, and Ombrak in. So, any questions, Beer?
Hold on, my mumble is... Well, whenever I try to do things, I just freeze. So that's wonderful. How do I fix mumble? No, real question is, let's see. Let's start out with Ombrak. Congratulations, guys. How did you guys manage to turn it around on Viaduct? That was pretty incredible. It was looking very bad for you guys.
I don't really know, to be honest. Like, I think we were 2-0 down, and they only had to cap to win the 3rd round. And at that point, I was like, okay, we've lost. We drew. And I don't know, somehow the guys stepped up out of nowhere, because we had 2 first rounds that were really poor, in my opinion, and I got a bit tilted, I have to admit. And I don't know, somehow, yeah, they managed to to turn the table around, even though I wasn't really good on product. So I don't. Yeah, that was a shout out to my team. Most of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of big snipes in the second half of that game from Neo, and I mean, if you're judging by the stats, Eliker was just putting out so much damage, kind of insane to look at. Samsky, I noticed. I mean, I always thought of you as someone that would snipe quite a lot on Viaduct, but you didn't seem to run it that much in this game. Is there any reason for that?
I'm trying to move away from trying to snipe because in recent scrims, like especially on the maps that we were playing, we were trying to play Solly a lot. Sorry, excuse the background noise. And on Gullywash, we were like struggling to hold the flank when I would go to sniper and Sorex would just be defending me. So I've tried to go away from that a bit more. And Adam Adiski wanted us to not have a sniper on Viaduct as much as possible, which is fine. Like I can just play it really passively. But I don't know. I'd like to say quickly that it's all well and good saying that what a comeback or what a choke, but every single round except the last one was extremely close. So to be honest, it could have been a 3-0 either way. It could have been a 3-2 either way. Like the score could have like been anything. So it was just a really, really good game from both teams, I feel, on Viaduct.
Yeah, I was surprised at how it seemed like you guys were really controlling the point for a lot of the first two rounds. Like in any Viaduct game, every team you're going to trade the point a lot of times, but it felt like in most of the trades of the point, you guys had a bit of a better end of the stick, and I think maybe the Tubber Soldier kind of thing did play into that quite a lot. I think it was more of a case of certain players turning up on nerdRage. I don't know if you guys. One thing I wanted to ask about with Sorex having a lot of issues and Fun stepping in. Do you know? Well, would you say that affected you very much?
I'd say it affects a lot of, like, it affected our team play a lot because we had to pause, and I think it also affected nerdRage because it was literally mid-fights sometimes where we had to pause, and I think Zorix doesn't even know what's going on with his internet. Like, we had that going on in scrims too, but we thought it was fixed because in warm-up there was, like, nothing wrong, you know? But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a game in Prem with this many pauses.
Yeah, we
most of them
really
were pretty short,
appreciate
but
nerdRage. That's also what we have to say. Thank you so much that you let us pause so often, and especially in these situations. Sometimes it's really nice of you.
And like,
welcome.
The thing with Funds, like, he obviously is like an incredible scout, and like we're really lucky for these guys to allow him to merc. But it's not just like that we don't have Sorex, and I'm not using this as an excuse for losing, because it could have been a 3-0 to them even with Sorex. Like we have no idea. But obviously there's cohesion with me and Sorex playing on Viaduct on the left-hand side, and obviously like Funds, Low Panda play Viaduct to a completely different like play style. So obviously Funds is not going to be comfortable with how we play it. So that's I think Low Panda are very like DM heavy on Viaduct. When we played against them, they go for the frags a lot, whereas we try to play a lot more concise, like, which obviously means that both teams both halves are going to struggle, both Funds and us. So, but it was a really good game, so I'm not going to take anything away from nerdRage for that. They played really well.
Yeah, I think there was big plays and like pretty consistent performances from everyone on both teams. There was no one making big mistakes or anyone I could call out. Even players that I would usually consider to be a little more lackluster on either roster were having really big moments, and yeah, it was really crazy to watch at times. Peter, I don't know if you have any comments regarding that.
If I may, I think what turned the game around on product is like on the first round I felt like Elaco wasn't really having any impact, as in like maybe he did spam damage, but I felt like he had to walk a lot more over the point and on Adiski, and so when the third round began I was like, okay Elaco, I want you to go forward. If you want to just ask me for heals and then we'll go forward. And even though like Samsky's right in all the rounds were really really close, but I think what made the difference for us to allowed us to win was that input on Elacore, like actually getting into the Ubers and going forward across the point and trying to do more damage.
Yeah, so a lot of your Uber advantage pushes you would pop on Eliker and just have him kind of dive in, at least in the second half of the game. And Yeah, I mean, it kind of shocked me when the stats came up, because it did look like he had a good game, but I didn't think he would have 14,000 damage. Like, it's a bit mad. But that being said, he did have 33% heals, and I think he's sort of filling the heavy pocket role that Medico left, and he's doing it pretty well.
Well,
Adiski also with a lot
he's
of heals.
all about the pipes. He's nothing in the brain, all about the pipes.
Alright, I have the most important stat here, and that is on Gollywash. We saw Babs getting 4 kills, and Albrecht, you only got 3. How do you feel about that?
I feel really bad. I shouldn't be outkilled by any medic in Prem. And I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna go some DM. I'll go do some DM after.
So yeah, you have to play more Ultimo. I warmed up today, you know. Just for the official.
I mean, we shouldn't talk just about Viaduct. Now that you mention it, like Gollywash was a pretty close game. It looked like, well, the rounds that you got, Babs and Samsky, for unexpected, it was quite dependent on your mid fights. I think the 2 rounds you won were quite quick rounds after getting good pushes on mids. But
I'd like to say,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Like sorry for interrupting you. That was really rude of me. I apologize. No, the fact that they ran a sniper to mid, like, I'm not gonna lie. I've done like background research on this team before the official, like I do with every single team. And we've scrimmed against these guys before on Gollywash and like had close results, but I think we've won every time we played them on Gollywash. And the fact that they ran a sniper to mid on the first mid not only threw us off that mid, but it also meant that we had to consider every single mid that there may be a sniper, which just completely threw us off the pace every single mid. Now, like, it shouldn't probably have that much of an effect, but obviously you're walking into a game against a normal team, not Low Panda, where they run like a sniper to mid almost every single time on Gollywash. Like, you don't have to consider it the most of the time with other teams, whereas because they ran at the first mid, we're thinking, oh, maybe they've got something up their sleeve, so then from that mid onwards, we have to consider, what if they have a sniper, we need to play this way, and then when they don't have a sniper, we're in different positions than we would be, like, if in a normal mid, so that's what completely threw us off, I think, for mid fights.
Not only.
Go ahead.
Like, I'd say also the soldier behind us, because we have no, like, it wasn't really called where the soldier was, and as he came in, he basically just surprised us with us being on low HP, and yeah, it was just like probably miscommunication and people maybe not checking some choke points or whatever. So yeah.
I noticed on a lot of the gully mids, Korvac does some really interesting jumps and gets into positions really early, so it's almost impossible to spot him as he does get into those. But regarding Neo sniping, yeah, it was quite interesting because I think he alternated between scout and sniper for the first 4 mids. So it would have been quite hard to read that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the impression that your team is one that's quite reliant on strategy and, you know, sort of set plays. I get that impression from like one of the mids towards the end. You ran quickie bomb and crits, and I know you guys have a lot of like set pushes for certain maps that seem to be pretty effective. Is there any comment you'd make on that?
Like, obviously, I think, especially in the past year, like, there were teams that aspired to play, like, the meta 7 playstyle, but I think there are, now in Prem, there are a lot more teams that are not playing really concise, but relying heavily on DM, dry pushing, etc. Whereas I think, especially because we're a new team, and there are some players on the team who are lacking, not, like, experience, because obviously there are a lot of people lacking experience, but more just, like, knowledge of the top of the game, and understanding how other teams play. I think that's why we rely so heavily on strategy and set plays. Like, obviously, it's not like so much down to map talks and stuff, but just knowing what your team members are going to do on mid fights, and then obviously when they throw a sniper into the works, or you've got a roamer I've never seen a roamer get to our side so quickly from drop down. That one mid was just insane. I've never seen a roamer get that fast. So, like, it's stuff like that you then have to consider into the works, and it's not like everyone on the it's not as if we can't deal with it, like, in our minds, but it's just then people are not aware of what others are doing, and that's where the miscommunication comes into, like Babs said. So they played really well on Gollywash on mids. Like, I have to give it to them. Like, they played phenomenal. So
I felt that 2 of the big performers, especially on the mid fights on Gully, were Korvac and Neo. They were the 2 top fraggers for Gollywash, and it felt like the mid fights that Ombrak that you guys used kind of rotated a lot around, or was centered a lot around Neo and Korvax's aggression and timing. Was that something you've been doing a lot on Gully, or is... I mean, I don't remember you guys running Neo on Sniper this much before. Is that more of a recent development?
It's more. I remember one game last week, I think, when we played versus Lego, and Dimo completely owned us on Sniper and Gully mid, and we lost 2-0 very quickly, and then we were like, okay, fuck it, Neo go Sniper mid, and then we won, and we were like, okay, maybe... Because Neo is really hard to read in that he's always like, I'm not hitting anything tonight, and then you go on logs and he has like 300 DPM, and you're like, what the fuck? I wish I wasn't hitting like you. And so yeah, I think that before, when we played with Medico and Namtak, we were like, okay, Medico, what do you want to do? And on Gully, we were, Neo, what do you feel like? And so yeah, he kind of was the one who our mid revolved around. And about Callback, I've been playing with him for a year now, so like 4 seasons. And even though he's telling me, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, in the end, I don't exactly know how it will work. I don't really know what it does, but I don't know. I think it works, and I think it's more like we don't have really strats. It's more like people showing off their skills sometimes, and hopefully tonight was a lot of times.
Well, I will say that from what I've seen, I think you guys have picked it up. I think the first couple of weeks of the seasons were a bit shakier. But it looks like you guys have a bit more synergy as a team now with the new roster. So credit to you guys, and credit for the 6 points tonight. I'm not sure if that's quite what you expected, but maybe it was unexpected. I am quite questioned out, Peter. I don't know if you have anything you want to ask.
No, I think that's gonna be good enough. So let's give some shout outs here. So Babs, you're on top in the mumble, so you get to go first.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to shout out obviously the whole team, and yeah, also Didi. Again, check his stream out; it's quite good. And yeah, shout out to you guys for casting. So yeah, I think I'm done.
Alright, I'm back.
Shout out to my team for stepping up when it mattered. It's not something I'm used to, so big up. Shout out to you guys for casting and to degu on production. Shout out to Yidin, who is somehow showing off on the match page as unrostered, even though he wasn't on the server during the official, so what the fuck. Shout out to Winero, shout out to everyone who watched that game, and yeah, shout out to nerdRage.
Alright, and finally Samsky.
Just my team, you guys for casting, and nerdRage for an amazing game, and Popcorp and Fafa.
Oh yeah, and obviously shoutouts to Funds too for marking.
Oh, and hopefully Sorix doesn't die.
What?
Like, hopefully he's with us this week.
His internet's not... Dude, are you afraid his internet's gonna take him down with them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, alright. Well, thank you guys all for giving us a fantastic match to cast. It was a lot of fun. And I'm not sure when week 5 will commence, but, you know, if I know ETF2L right, there's going to be a bunch of default dates, and then a bunch of people are going to forget to schedule them, and it's going to be all sorts of fun. So usually everything gets played eventually, but when we find out when it is, we will let you know and schedule everything. So I would just like to say thank you to Degu for doing production tonight, and then for Nuze for casting with me. It's always a great pleasure to cast with you. And check out Fantasy TF2. I already updated it. We had such a long interview with so many good answers that I actually had time to go do the fantasy submissions already. So that was really good. And yeah, Nuze, do you want to take us out?
Alright, well, this has been Team Fortress TV's coverage of ETF2L Week 4 between Unexpected and nerdRage. nerdRage taking the 6 points in the end with 2 pretty close maps. We'll catch you next time for more ETF2L coverage, and thanks for watching.
Pick me!